Hi guys, welcome to the Corner Taken Quickly podcast. With me here is Arun and Nikhil. I'm not sure whether Nikhil is there or not. His network is having some issues. So for the moment, at the we are just having Arun and yeah, guys. Let's just round up about the previous game week. How was yours, Arun? How was your game week?
Uh, it was real. Hi everybody. Firstly, hi everybody. Hope you had a great game week. The double game week 19. To sum up my game week, I was very happy. I had excellent. I got excellent returns. I was the one who owned John Stone. Sorry to make you feel jealous about it. And I had Mendy who kept a clean sheet against Fulham. I had Kufal who gave points in both his matches. So did Stones and so did Justin. The only regret for me, even though I had a great game, the only regret for me was that I had Target on the bench because I never expected Target to give a clean sheet against Man City, which he did, and he was subbed, and then Man City scored their 2 goals. And he gave an assist in the win against Newcastle. So, I mean, even after having such a good game week, I end up being sad because I could have got another 16 points. I played Neto because he was playing a West Brom team, and I benched Target. So that's the life of an FPL manager, I guess. You're never happy, even after doing so well.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, for the TGD's team, we had Saka on the bench, and we again Neto was the guy who let us down really badly. Saka gave 9 points against Newcastle, and we should have actually kept him. But then West Brom were on a downfall, and I thought Neto would do something, but then it doesn't always go as per planned. So TGD got 92 points. TGD had target in his first team though, so that was a plus point over there. So yeah, that was my game week.
So Arun, you had to rub that Johnstone's thing on my nose, right?
Yeah, that was my plan on the podcast.
So yeah, guys. So since all the double game weeks are over and the blank game weeks are over, now we are just awaiting for the confirmation for game week 26 and 29 at this moment. But apart from that, we are just here to talk about the fixtures which are good for teams in the coming 4 or 5 game weeks, and along with that, some replacements for KDB and Vardy. And now that since we are here, we'll discuss about the possible replacements along with teams that have had good fixtures. Right. So starting off with Arun, who do you think are potential KDB replacements for you?
Okay, so there are a lot of midfielders that would come in the range to replace KDB. Uh, According to me, the replacement for KDB would have to be, my personal choice would be Rashford. But there are very good replacements in Sterling as a like for like replacement in terms of price. Also, Gundogan is actually playing the advanced role vacated by David Silva. So I think taking a punt on Gundogan is actually not a punt, but since we are known to seeing Gundogan play in a double pivot in the past, no one actually goes for him, but he's actually playing further forward. And with De Bruyne out, I think Gundogan would relish that role. So at 5.5, I think Gundogan is a really, really good shout for managers. Mahrez, he is hit and miss according to me because he may not start most of the games. If he does start as well, I mean, when I took him after the hat trick, he scored against Burnley. Mahrez had so many chances in the next game, and he just disappointed me for the next 3 games, and I lost patience with him. So I wouldn't recommend Mahrez though. Another punt. Mhm. And another punt that I'd like to take in the United midfield is Pogba. Not many people will would have considered him because they'll all go for Rashford. Like I would have suggested to any midfielder, any manager actually to take instead of De Bruyne. But I would say if you want to go for a punt pick, then Paul Pogba is the man because he scored the winner against Burnley. He also scored a stunning goal against West Ham, and he gets into the box more often than he and than before. And with United's record in penalties that they have got in the last 2 years, I think he can get potential assists as well. So I think Paul Pogba is a good pick, yeah, in my opinion. So that's what I feel about the replacement for De Bruyne.
Mhm. And additionally, as soon as Pogba's job is on the line, he starts performing like Paul Scholes in the midfield, man.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to consider. But apart from that, yeah, Nikhil, you can tell about your potential replacements for Kevin De Bruyne.
My potential replacements for Kevin De Bruyne mostly will be from United, Manchester United, for Bruno Fernandes or Marcus Rashford, because Fernandes we all know, and mostly everyone has him, so I don't think he will necessarily be a replacement. But Marcus Rashford could be the one to to be the possible replacement. Plus, he's playing really good. I'm not sure if he'll like perform to the level KDB perform, but Rashford is a good pick at a cheaper price. Plus, also from a personal point, I think Liverpool, Mane or Salah could be a perfect replacement. I know Liverpool aren't scoring goals at the moment for the last 4 games, but they are creating so many chances. It's bound to happen sometime sooner than later. So I think Mane or Salah those could be a good option. If you have at least one of them, it should be a good option for you.
So yeah, Nikhil, those were really nice picks. I wanted to talk about Mane and Salah, and considering how unlucky they've been on the pitch, especially
Yeah,
since the prime midfielders in Fabinho and
best.
Endo have to play on the mid defense rather than on the midfield. It increases
Yeah,
the pressure on the top three even more now. But
yeah,
they've coped in well, but again, the results are not showing. But it's bound to happen that they'll end up scoring one or two goals each match. But yeah,
yeah.
so my picks are Leicester's uh, Harvey Barnes, James Madison, and Ayuzi Perez. Again, Perez is not uh, one of the best choices because there's no guarantee that he'll start. But when he starts, he generally gets us managers FPL points. If you remember that 8-0 drubbing of Southampton by Leicester the previous season, we knew that Ayuzi Perez can score and can score in leaps. So that's one thing. And then apart from that, there's Madison, who has been really good in the last 4 game weeks. He has taken 4 shots, and three of which have been goals. Again, that's again an point which is going against him. But on the other hand, James Madison is kind of the player who likes to get into the box, like Frank Lampard and one of the prime midfielders in the yesterdays. But again, his out of the box shots and all are really accurate, and he can provide us with decent assists since he's got a good creative vision while he's playing. So that is one option there, and then one is Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes has slightly slipped under the radar for Leicester's attack. But considering that he's been on fire when it comes to getting you FPL points for the amount that he's got, you can even save zero point 0.3 million by choosing Harvey Barnes instead of James Madison. And especially the fact that now Dennis Pratt is injured, I feel that Harvey Barnes would get more of a playing time, and along with James Madison, who actually get you some creative threat, and the fact that they have good fixtures ahead. They are facing. Just a second. I'll just have a look about it. But yeah, Leicester are facing Everton, Leeds, Fulham, and Wolves. Now, for me, considering the fact that Everton are quite shaky defensively, Leeds have been conceding goals for fun this season, and Wolves are also not that reliable at the back when it comes to your defense. And they can score, especially with the fact that Vardy getting injured. these players have more of an opportunity to get ahead and score those vital goals, which will get Leicester the points. And they have been really on bang when it comes to their form. They have been scoring. Leicester have been scoring goals left, right, and center. And now, since even Vardy is away, one of those players is bound to take even the penalties. Maybe Yuri Tielemans might take penalties for Leicester, but James Madison also wants to score goals, likes to score goals. Maybe Brendan Rodgers might select him for the penalties. Then apart from that, there's Spurs' Son, which is a potential like-for-like replacement for KDB. Again, in the next 4 game weeks, the fixtures are dodgy, to be very accurate to say, since they're facing Liverpool, then they are facing Brighton, then they are facing West Brom Albion in game week 23. So, and Chelsea in the middle. So the fixtures can't be said that they are great, but again, this with this Chelsea attack, you can trust. Sorry, I beg your pardon. With the Spurs attack, you can think that they can score with your against your bigger teams as well, since they set up in that manner. So Son is there, and then again Aston Villa's Jack Grealish, the way he has combined with Ross Barkley, since he's come on back. Uh, Aston Villa were even threatening to score against Man City, which are the best defense in the league right now. So Jack Grealish can be one option. And since I know a lot of players, FPL managers own him, but this is the time moment in time where you can trust Jack Grealish to get his returns, since his fixtures are really good. Yeah. So let's just talk about Vardy's replacement at this moment, since he's also injured for 4 to 6 game weeks. Um, Coming to Arun, what do you think? Who do you think are the possible replacements for Vardy?
So for Wadi being out, I have picked three players that I feel would do justice to the selection. The first player for me is Antonio. He scored in both the games in game week 19, and with Allaire leaving, I think he is going to spearhead West Ham's attack. The only glitch with Antonio is his fitness. I mean, he keeps getting injured regularly, so I think managers got to keep a tab on Antonio's fitness before they, select him if they want him. The next replacement is Harry Kane. See, he's costlier than Jamie Vardy, so you've got to keep some funds aside. But if you have the funds, then you could go for someone like Harry Kane. He's explosive. He scored in the game against Sheffield United. Even though he had a single game week, he gave points like he was in a double game week. So I think Harry Kane is someone who will always give points irrespective of the fixtures. And this season, he's formed an unbelievable partnership with Son, which is really good for FPL managers. And removing bias aside, I mean, I this is a punt option right now because he was touted to score 20 goals a season this season, but he's been nowhere near that kind of form, and it's Chelsea's Timo Werner. I know I'm a Chelsea fan, and the viewers might think I'm biased, but this is completely an unbiased select for me. Chelsea's fixtures are turning out for the better. I know Chelsea are not in form right now, but he's someone who managers could actually consider getting in at this point in time. So to climb up their mini leagues as a proper differential. So my differential pick for replacing Wadi would be Werner. Kane and Antonio are my other two replacements for Wadi.
So coming to Nikhil, those were really good picks, Arun. Considering the fact that Antonio has been superb in the double game week, I was about to captain him for God's sake, but didn't end up captaining him. But on the other hand, Keane and Werner are pretty good shouts, especially with the fact that if you want to replace Keane with Vardy anytime soon as he comes back, that can be a very good strategy as well. So yeah, coming to Nikhil now, who do you think are potential replacements in your point of view, Nikhil?
From my point of view, I think Edinson Cavani from Manchester United could be a good replacement, but the only fact is he starts from the bench most of the times. But he's a proven goal scorer, so I think he could be a good option to replace Vardy. And also DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin could be a good option from Everton. And he has proven this year, so everyone in FPL, everyone used to own him before his injury. So I think it's good time to get him back. But slight, we have to keep tabs on both of them because Diesel had an hamstring issue, which the doctor said could reoccur. So they should keep tabs on his fitness. Plus, Cavani is a bench warmer, so think it could be a differential choice. But Cavani has a differential choice, but Calvert-Lewin could be a good replacement for the long run as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, Nikhil, those are very good picks actually. Calvert-Lewin, since the only thing with Calvert-Lewin I feel is that Digne is injured again. I've been hearing from sources, so that is one thing. But apart from that, I don't think with James Rodriguez coming back in, I think Calvert-Lewin can be a very good option when it comes to scoring your headers from set pieces or even scoring goals provided by James Rodriguez. So yeah, those are pretty good shouts. And then coming back to my picks, don't shout at me if I say this name. It's Bamford. I know a lot of managers have owned him, and he did not do particularly well in the last game week. Since 18 was also a blank, people have started to forget a little about Patrick Bamford. But considering the fact that he's facing Leeds, who have been pretty bad defensively, so you can consider to bring him in if you have ever taken him out. So Bamford is one option that you can go for. Then the other is Watkins. As I said, for Grealish, the fixtures are really good coming up ahead. So again, Watkins providing the FPL managers with a late goal, finally some relief for the managers since Watkins has scored. But apart from that, Watkins has a decent run of fixtures and he gets to good positions, when it comes to his positions in the box and the chances that he gets from Barkley and Grealish. It's just about converting those chances into finished goals. I guess Watkins is a pretty good shout when it comes to his form, and he can provide you with by replacing Vardy with Watkins. You can always spread your money around the defense and the midfield, and yeah. So and then my last pick would be Martial. Martial again hasn't been that clinical when it comes to his finishing. He has been wanting when it comes to completion of the chances that he had. But since Man United have a decent run of fixtures, like Southampton, then they are facing Arsenal. Those are after Sheffield, of course. Those are pretty decent fixtures to get yourself on the score sheet. I don't know whether Martial would be starting each and every game regularly or not, since Cavani and Rashford have been vying for those spots. Um, so those are the three options that you can go for. Apart from what Arun and Nikhil said, those were pretty amazing options as well. So yeah, guys, that was our pick for the game week. Now let's just quickly run through the fixtures for the teams that have a decent run of fixtures. Arun, what do you think? Who do you pick when it comes to when it just comes to the fixture runs that the team have?
Yeah, so for me, Man City obviously have a great run of fixtures. So owning someone like Stones and Diaz, I mean going with both. Now that we are going to be midfield light, unless you're taking Sterling in Man City, owning Stones and Diaz just makes a lot of sense because they keep so many clean sheets, and you get like 12 points from a single game. So I think doubling up on Man City makes sense. So having Man City assets, having I think Villa assets also, because Villa have a good run, they're in form, and they're going to have double game weeks in the future. So I mean, owning Grealish and Target and Martinez also makes sense. If you're going between only Target and Martinez, that's fine as well. But Aston Villa are like a team in form, and they just surprised everybody this season. I mean, they were almost going to get relegated last year, and that turn in form has just rejuvenized them, and I mean, they're playing really well. Man United league leaders, Fernandez. I know everybody owns Bruno. Owning someone like, as I mentioned earlier on the podcast, owning someone like Pogba, Rashford makes sense as well. Man United have a good run, and even actually buying a Shaw or buying a Maguire also makes sense in the moves for the future, I guess. So for me, I think these are the three teams that have good fixtures. Even Chelsea have good fixtures, but I mean, Chilwell is the only option that I would recommend if you want someone from Chelsea, because Mount will score you a goal a game, but apart from that, I mean, there are games where he will not give you returns in terms of FPL. So I wouldn't recommend anyone from Chelsea right now apart from Chilwell. So yeah, so those were my picks for teams.
Yeah, those are good shouts. Actually, Leicester, Aston Villa, City, Spurs, all of those teams have really nice run of fixtures ahead. So, people who are planning or not thinking to pick post game week 20, or planning for their game week 20, now that since it's over, now the managers will have some relief. Most of us performed really well towards the end of it. Again, quite jealous about people having John Stones, but yeah, that is the part and parcel of the life of an FPL manager. So that was it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed our podcast, and please leave a like and do follow the Goal Difference on Instagram. So thank you guys for tuning in for our podcast.